Hello, I'm Richard Vobes, the Bald Explorer, and I'm out on another little stroll. Part of my 3 videos that I've been doing, actually. This is the 3rd of my look at this very beautiful, lovely rural village of Kingston near Lewes in East Sussex. And in the first video that I made, I went and had a look at the church. The second one, I went up onto the downs, which is above. And this one, I just thought I'd have a look at, take a stroll really through the village and just have a look at some of the rather beautiful houses of this fantastic setting. And here we can see behind me are some rather wonderful flint and brick buildings looking absolutely gorgeous. Now I know that today, in the 3 consecutive days that I've been here, it's going to rain a little bit later, so I'm hoping I can get round before the weather changes completely. So I'm in an area called the Street. It's an interesting wall here, look. It's got a little jug in there, and just here, strange little anomaly in the wall. One of my favourite flowers is the hollyhock, and there's one there, incredibly tall. That must be about 12 foot tall, I think. It's absolutely outrageous. This is heading eastwards on the street, and all around me I can hear the crows doing their cawing as we head down towards the church. Just through this gate here, we get the church just through here. And again, we've got a bit of sunshine on it, which is rather nice. I ended my walk that I did yesterday in a big circular motion and came down here and ended up just at this point here where I could get a good glimpse of the church. But we've seen all of that, so we're going to make our way back down the street and have a look at some more of the village. So we'll go through the gate here. And head down this road. I believe this is, there's a lot of flies and stuff around. I believe this is Kingston Farm, and they've got this wonderful shop here with all sorts of bits and bobs. Now I went to a farm shop yesterday, but look at all this on display. It's all rather good, rather nice stuff. Some flowers, some herbs presumably, and some courgettes. I did actually buy a courgette the other day when I was here, 20p it was. Put it in the tin, and I have to say I cooked it up and it was gorgeous. A bit more of the church on my left, and straight ahead a bit more of this village and the road, the street. Sounds like somebody's moving some stuff. Hyde Manor, that house there is called. Rather lovely, grand looking house with great big bay windows. Now I know that Kingston is mentioned in the Domesday book. We're right next to the Ouse Valley here, and it's a rural setting, and Lewes is only a few miles to the north really. So I guess this little village with its farms, and a lot of farms in this area, would have served Lewes, but also probably down to Newhaven, because the River Ouse, Newhaven, is only a few miles to the south where there's the port, and that would have been very useful. There is the Coombe windmill on the other side of the village, just below Lewes, and so farmers would have brought their corn there. Very beautiful. And so in its day, of course, you know, in its heyday, this would have been a very busy community, I can imagine, within the farming world. Just coming up to the Kingston Parish Hall here on my left. some more houses, but you can get a sense of the age here with the what must have been the old post office here, because look, we have this post office box, and in fact that one there does actually say the post house. A nice old barn here with another farm. You see, you get that sense. That's Kingsbrook Farm, outdoor reared and homebred, which just looks absolutely beautiful. Nice old village there. And then up to the farm, there it is. Goats, pigs, cattle raised with animal welfare high priority, it says. I can actually see the goats. It's absolutely lovely. Definitely worth coming and just having a walk around the village, and then you've got all the downs to walk on. Obviously at some point they used to have, oh, goat meat for sale, there you go. Goat burgers. I have to say I've never tried any goat burgers, but there's always a good first time, isn't there? We carry on down this road and we come to a pub called The Jugs. Here it is. Doesn't that look lovely? That is The Jugs pub, tile hung. I think that goes back to the 14th century. Rather lovely. They are open at the moment, even with the COVID thing. It's called The Jugs because, and there's a lane I think that must run the other side, because this is the street. It's called The Jugs. It's named after the fish baskets that the fishwives of Brighton used to carry, apparently, on Jugs Lane to Lewes. And I guess they were selling the fish caught at Brighton to Lewes at the market there. And apparently you can still walk up and down Jugs Lane, but it's still legal to drive along it, although it's actually not suitable for any cars or transport. So there we are. That's the back end of the pub. Morning. We come down to the main road. Now this is the road that takes you to the A27 and on to Newhaven. And we start to see a few newer properties here. Down this way, it's Ashcombe Lane. And if I follow this up, it will actually take me to Jugs Lane, but it's a fair distance, I think. And then you get to the Ashcombe Windmill. And I know the Ashcombe Windmill was built in the early 1800s, and it blew down about 100 years later in 1916, I think. And then only recently, in the last 10, 15 years, I think, it was rebuilt and has got 6 sweeps on it, as originally it did. But it generates electricity for the owner rather than anybody else using the sails. But what a brilliant idea. So I've just come down Church Lane, which is behind me, and here we see the recreation ground, which has rather stunning views all around of the South Downs and Mount Caburn in the distance there. The sun is out and very shiny. It's a lovely, lovely space here for the locals. But what's interesting to me is the pavilion here, which I assume is what it's called, or the village hall, has got on the top a green roof. Now, I made a video with Tony Whitbread, who's the president of the Sussex Wildlife Trust. There's a fly crawling across the lens here. There seems to be a lot of flies in this neck of the woods. That's the only downside that I've seen so far. But it's got a beautiful green roof on there, sort of very tuned in to green roofs at the moment. And also freely available, it seems, on this side is some tennis courts. And yesterday when I completed my walk, I didn't get this on the camera, but there were some ladies who just had a nice game of tennis. And I said to them, oh, you can see it's open, look. There's the gate. I said to them, is this where Wimbledon is now played? And we all had a good laugh at that. Now you may think the whole place is completely and utterly deserted. That's because I've come quite early in the morning to avoid too many people. But I'm sure it's a very lovely and busy little community. Now I'm just going to walk around the last part of this. And here we are again outside the church, and it's St Pancras, as it was yesterday and the day before. And that's where I'm going to finish my walk. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this little gentle stroll around the village of Kingston near Lewes in East Sussex. Don't forget to follow, like and subscribe and become a patron. Support what I do would be fantastic. And give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye for now. Bye bye.